Hey everyone, welcome to Everybody in Charlotte here at Everybody Studios. I'm your host, Meredith Dean, and I'm so excited. I have one of my favorite photographers here with me, Andy Weber. Welcome to Everybody in
I
Charlotte.
appreciate it. Thank you.
You're so
This is super
welcome.
cool. Yeah,
Oh,
I love it.
I'm glad you love it. Well, I'm going to read your bio so I don't get anything wrong here.
Okay.
But Andy's a photographer and storyteller from Charlotte and documents folks and their elements and passions that make them who they are. He recently started Good Humans, which I definitely want to start out talking about Good Humans,
Love it.
which showcases these stories of inspiring people in and around the city, which is a perfect reason to have you on Everybody in Charlotte. You're so good about highlighting these beautiful stories, and you do them in these photo essays, and you're so talented. I mean, a lot of people have seen your photos everywhere in Charlotte, but tell me what gave you the inspiration for Good
Oh, that's
Humans.
super nice. I appreciate that. Yeah, uh, every project that I've done over the course of many years, like even before I moved to Charlotte, I was doing video work, and doing stories that way. And when I moved here, like the photography really kind of just kind of took off for me, and that passion took off for me. And then I started the podcast, as you know, and just like everything that I tried to do, it always came back to story. And I saw this project that someone did, and he like highlighted this guy in his. He was like a woodworker, and he had just this really cool shop. He was like this older man, and it was just photos. There was no words to it, and it was just like 10 photos of this guy in his studio just working, and it was like
Oh,
so. I don't know. It like hit me with what I thought this guy's story was, and I was like, I think I like that would be like a really cool, different, unique thing. And then it kind of just, I feel like it's where it's supposed to be now, and it makes me really happy and excited about this. And it's just easy for me to make time, and it allows me to meet the people that I respect and look up to in the city. And I just think it's just a different, unique way to kind of highlight someone's story. So I do it with photography and kind of capture them in their elements and what makes them who they are. And I just add a few words just to kind of give that backstory to it. So it's been fun, and it's like you go through these paths with your passions in life, and I feel like you're gonna like get to a point where you're supposed to be with it, and I think that's where I am now, and it's just really exciting.
I love it. I love
Yeah,
it. And I feel like, yeah, your pictures speak a thousand words.
thank you.
And that I feel like it's kind of similar to something like Humans of New York, right? But we're
Right,
doing it for Charlotte.
right.
And that's so important because you're getting these stories out, and there's so many in Charlotte. And
Hmm.
just from your perspective in your career, what do you think Charlotte's identity is? Just from the work that you've done and the people that you've interviewed. And it's
Yeah,
fun for me to interview the interviewer
I
too.
know. Yeah,
I
it's
know
so
you're normally
yeah,
always the one asking
yeah. It's my
questions.
first podcast. This is like we were just talking about before. It's like really cool. Yeah, I think the what I get from people in Charlotte is that everybody's just trying to do something good, and they are trying to connect with the people in the city, whether you're from here or not. I think a lot of people are trying to learn like what Charlotte is all about, and just trying to make it its own unique place. I mean, moving here almost 6 years ago now, it's just a totally different city from what it was then. And I know people at that point would say the same thing about that too. And I just think it's cool to see the evolution. You know, there are problems that are in the city, they're everywhere, but you have the folks that are trying to do the good things. And that's not really highlighted a lot. Um, and everybody has a story, and everybody can learn from a story. And I think that everybody has their own journey that's kind of guided them to where they are, that's also allowing them to do just great things for others around them. And I think that's like a big thing that I've taken away so far.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
People finding their higher purpose, and that's what you're going to be doing.
Yeah. And I mean, I ask different questions to folks, but there's one question I always ask them is what is a proud moment that sticks out to you that has shaped you into the person that you are today? And it kind of gives them a moment to reflect on. And it could be with anything. It could be a personal story, a professional story. But like, it just gives them that moment to like really shine and think about like, wow, like I should be so proud of where I am because I went through hell and back to get here. And it just kind of allows them to just like take a step back, take a deep breath, and like really appreciate where they are and who they are at this point.
And I love that you give them a platform to do that, because a lot of times we don't give ourselves our own flowers, for
Right.
working as hard as we have. And I'm glad that you have allowed other people to do that.
Yeah, and it means the world to me that they're able to trust me to share their. I mean, I'm really not a big platform for them to actually shine on there. So it means a lot to me that they trust me to share their stories.
Not
So
yet.
ah,
Not yet. We're
appreciate it.
manifesting. It's going to be big,
Let's
big,
hope so.
big.
Yeah, yeah. I
And
can't wait to see. I just released this project, and I've been doing it on my site. So like having a spot for it now, I'm really excited to kind of just run with it and see what happens.
I am very excited.
Yeah.
I'm excited for a year later after this. We're going to see the growth from here to now, or from
Hope
here
so.
to
I can't
then.
wait.
So it's going to be great. I love
Yeah,
it.
I
And
love it.
speaking of good humans,
Yeah.
you and your wife are creating a good
Yeah,
human,
yeah,
right?
we are. Yep, yeah, we're expecting a baby boy in June, and just yeah, very, very, very thankful. My wife is a warrior. She, it's been hard for us to get pregnant, and just the journey for us these past few years, and what we've had to do, and uh, yeah, it's emotional, and it's just we're very, very grateful that we're gonna be parents,
I'm so
and in a
excited
few
for
months.
you. You're
Yeah,
going
it's
to be
crazy.
amazing
Yeah,
parents.
yeah,
And
it's crazy.
what is something that you're thinking about when you're becoming a parent? I know your whole life is going to change in a great way.
Yeah.
What do you think is maybe a piece of advice that you want to impart on your child when your child comes into the world?
Um,
Maybe something from your dad. I know your dad was an NYPD officer.
yeah, man, I'll start crying. My dad's like my best friend, and he's taught me just a bunch of things to just being a good person, a good husband, spouse, friend. But I saw something, and it hits me that I'm gonna be a parent, and it doesn't. Like it's just like I don't know. It's just strange, and it's I've been doing like research, and like I've been seeing videos that pop up, and somebody was talking about just like kids in general, and if they have any inspiration or any imagination and they want to do something, just do it with them. Like if they want to cook one day, cook. If they want to dance, dance. If they want to be a teacher, like just pretend to be a teacher, get a chalkboard, or like have that imagination, and whatever they want to do, just do it with them. And whether that sticks or it doesn't, then I mean, it is what it is. But you're
Encourage their pursuits and their
right,
passions.
and you're allowing their mind to expand to just greater heights. And I always go back to that because I just think that's how I was when I was a kid. Like I want to be a basketball coach when I was little, and my parents said I had a clipboard that you can write the plays down. I was like outside with a suit jacket, yelling at bushes, pretending they were players, and it's
Yelling
like
at bushes. That is
yeah.
the best.
Now they can laugh at it. I'm sure they were laughing at that point too. But just having those imaginations and dreams, and I think will just be important to always encourage them to do. So.
And you both will be amazing at that. I can just feel it.
Yeah, I mean, she's already an amazing mother just with what she's gone through and the amount of care she's already showing. So, yeah, I have no doubt for her.
I love it. I love it. And, I appreciate you talking about, the things that she's gone through, and you talking about her being a warrior. And
Mm,
also, I love your vulnerability as a man. I feel like that's really important. You even saying, like, I'm going to cry here. I think that's so
cry for
important.
anything.
But that's amazing. I think that's so important to talk about that vulnerability, and that you're okay with that, and you are this confident professional who's good in all these different ways, and you're okay to be
Yeah.
vulnerable like that. That is so important as women for us to hear. So way to
Yeah,
go.
I mean, I don't know. I think everybody kind of like puts on this tough like mentality for really no reason, and it kind of just shifts you away from who you actually truly are. Um, yeah, no, I mean, like I'm not one to open up about things too, but like going through some stuff, like talking to people about anything, you don't know what everybody else has gone through, so it could open up just a huge dialogue. For us, like in our journey, like we haven't really heard from people that went through the journey that we did. And when you hear about it from somebody else, it's like very refreshing and reassuring that you're not the only one going through hard things in life. And I think a lot of people kind of need that reassurance with whatever it is that you're going through. So, yeah, yeah. gosh, I don't know. We watch TV shows, and I'm sitting there on the couch weeping.
I
I
love
mean,
it.
it's
Me,
just
me
like,
too. Me too.
yeah, whatever. It's great.
But it's so important, and it's just very refreshing to hear that from you. And I hope that continues with just a lot of men or male identifying
Hmm.
people, that they
Yeah,
know that
absolutely.
it's so important to share that vulnerability, that journey, and then everyone can lift up together
That's
by
right.
sharing in those stories.
Yeah, love
Now,
it.
is there anything that you want to share that's maybe on your heart, on your mind, that we haven't talked about that you think is really important for other people in Charlotte to know?
No, not really. Um, I don't know. It's just been fun recently. I feel like a lot of people are kind of doing the things that they want to try to do to see if it works. A lot of people, especially the ones that I've been meeting, are really putting their mindset to their passions and just going after it.
Is there one
And
story in
it's
particular maybe that you have that you're thinking of, that there was someone that you interviewed that their words or their story just changed your life in a certain way?
man, it's a lot of all of them really, because they're all just different. I met Brian Lee. He's been a huge. Um, he's just been a great friend and helping me grow this project. And he was somebody that I never met before. And we met. I was photographing in South Park, and him and Tim, who does
Mhm.
Splatter Charlotte, they were there. And I met.
Two great
Oh
humans.
my gosh, they're wonderful. And I met them both there, and I mean that kind of kicked off that friendship. I mean, Brian and I meet for coffee like a couple times, like every other week. Um, and just his mindset on investing in the people and not the thing really stood out to me. And I always kind of go back to like him saying that. Um, you
That's a
know,
great one. I mean, and he does that through Shameless
oh
Improv, through his
yeah,
restaurants,
oh
through Charles
yeah,
Creative.
and just seeing, yeah, and especially with Charles Creative, and just seeing the impact he's made on a lot of other people. Like I shared his story, and it was just like you could see the comments are just like, yeah, this is the person that you want like in your corner. Um, so that's just like a great mindset that's just kind of stuck out to me for sure.
So
But
say that one more time too, that one phrase with Brian that he said to you, focusing on.
oh, investing in the person and not the thing. Um, and he's like, I'll go for bat for anybody, and it's like I don't need to hear what they're doing. I just need to know that they're the person that is trying to make a good difference in life and a person that I can trust. That's huge.
I love it.
Yeah,
And that's a perfect way to kind of sum up everything that we've talked about. Is you have this mission to find good humans and then tell their story in that beautiful way.
yeah,
And I appreciate
I
that
love it.
service that you are providing to
Ah, I
Charlotte.
love it. Yeah, it's great. I love doing it. So
You're
no need to
awesome.
thank me.
Oh, well, hey, I will give you your
Yeah,
flowers on
I
that one.
appreciate
It's a
it.
proud accomplishment. Well, y'all, we do this every Tuesday. Everybody in Charlotte. These are just great episodes that are highlighting amazing humans like Andy every single week. So make sure you guys check out Everybody Studios if you want to host your own podcast. Thanks again for listening. I'm Meredith Dean, and we'll see you next week.